Hello and welcome to Successful Traders channel. Today I'm going to be talking about NIO. Now NIO is a Chinese automobile manufacturer specializing in electronic cars. Their head office is in Shanghai. They're listed on the New York Stock Exchange. They first listed in 2014. They came in at just over $6 a share, which was quite low on their IPO listing because investors were scared of the direct competition with Tesla. But that's the past. Let's look at the today and yesterday and the recent history. So in the last 1 year, there's been significant changes. So let's make this chart bigger, break this down. As you can see, let's get that out 1 year. Big spikes here. So today is the 9th of July, 2020. Last week, a lot of the gains happened. Break it down to 1 week, hourly candles, bang, look at these jumps on open, big spikes. But more recently, yesterday, as we all know, what goes up must come down. Here we hit a 52-week high, around 15.26, tested that level again here, couldn't sustain it, couldn't get back up again, and then the market corrected. There's a bit of a drop here, all the way down to 12 per share. Now this candle here, this negative red candle, is significant mainly because of the time. Remember that time, 2:45 in the afternoon. But let's stick in with NIO. It rose quickly, it reached an all-time high, but yesterday it did drop. I was watching this live. This had a big impact. Went from plus 8% to negative 2%, 3%. It was a big swing. Slight recovery. Down here, what you can see is the MACD. I like using this. It's a moving average indicator. The red signal line, if it goes above the blue MACD line, that's a sell signal. If the blue MACD line is above the red signal line, that's a buy signal. Now, it doesn't work 100% of the time. In this chart, you can see the sell would have been a good sell. The buy, if you could get in straight away on entry, but you wouldn't have got out in time if you'd have followed the MACD completely here. So every analysis, every tool, they never work 100% of the time, but I like to have it there as a extra tool to help me become a more successful trader. Now, if you want to analyze this chart in more detail, what we can do is right click, edit chart, add horizontal trend line. So I could do a trend line around here. If you want at the top, edit chart, give me the roof, and give there. So there's a few touches there. That was our trend line. We were happily in this little barrier, bang, bang, bang. Suddenly we broke it, and then we broke out. Then there was volatility, blood in the water, big red candles, big drop. Some long investors, long options would have suffered there. Shorts would have profited. As you can see here, reflected in the MACD, the signal line was above the MACD, which is a good strong sell signal. So that's how you use the charts. You can right click, remove selected trend line, that one, remove this trend line, so then we've got a clear line. You can change how you view the chart here, different schedules, different positions, per minute, per hour, etc., etc. You can trade on the chart here, but that's another video. Let's go back. So just to recap, this is NIO. This is their pre-market information. You can see here we're not actually live yet in the market. The market isn't open, but the pre-market is showing very positive gains here. If you want more information, click this blue arrow, more details, loads up. Here we've got the last week. Here we go back to 5 years, see the full history. Now we've got the economic, social, governance, different type of reports, market capitalization, revenue, earnings per share, price earnings. But this one's a nice one, implied volatility, 212%. That's a big spike in volatility, and that will affect the options prices. Again, that's another video. Please subscribe. I'll cover that later. Now, when I said it was very important to note that 245, what did I refer to? Well, I referred to it correlating with Tesla. And let's load up Tesla, loads up the chart. Very similar, almost identical in fact. Rose on open, had a little bit of a trend line here, and then fell. What time? 245. So even though these are different companies, they are in the same sector as we're aware, but they tracked each other. Their performance tracked each other almost identically. High, low, bit of a recovery. So that's very interesting to be aware of. Now you want to be careful as well. If you're trading Tesla and NIO at the same time, your exposure is in effect doubled. Because if they mimic themselves, if they continue to do that in the future, you'll have high exposure. It might be a good idea to diversify, have one electronic car and one asset in a different sector. Could be positive, but it could also be negative. Better safe than sorry sometimes. But these are two hot stocks to talk about. Just a brief outline. This is the Mosaic platform. I use Mosaic, not the Classic. Each to their own. Down here we have the news. So we have a market news here. This is all the market news. Here we have my specific portfolio. Here we have company specific news. So if we want to get to NIO, go to NIO, and it just lists the Nio News. So that's quite a good tool if you want specific information on something you're tracking. If you want to go to options, FX trading here. But that's a video for another day. Again, happy trading. Let's see what the market does today.